Hey folks, Mike Rowe here, and let me tell you, I've seen my fair share of leaning structures in my time. From old barns in the countryside to modern buildings with design flaws, I've seen it all. But none quite as famous or as fascinating as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. This iconic bell tower in Italy has been tilting for centuries, and it's a testament to both human ingenuity and the relentless power of gravity. Construction on the tower began way back in 1173, during a time when architectural knowledge was still evolving. The Italians wanted a magnificent bell tower for their cathedral, something that would stand out and showcase their architectural prowess. But there was a problem right from the start. The ground they chose to build on was not ideal. The ground beneath the tower was unstable, consisting of soft, marshy soil. It was too soft on one side, which led to significant engineering challenges. This caused the foundation to settle unevenly, creating a tilt that would become more pronounced over time. And guess what? The tower started to lean almost immediately after construction began. Over the years, the lean got worse, becoming a significant concern for the people of Pisa. By the 20th century, it was tilting by about 5.5 degrees, a staggering angle for such a tall structure. That's like the top of the tower being displaced over 15 feet. Engineers were deeply worried about its stability. They knew that if they didn't do something, the tower could collapse, taking with it centuries of history and architectural wonder. Now you might think that fixing a leaning tower would be a simple matter of pushing it straight. But it's not that easy, folks. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is not just any structure. It's a marvel of medieval engineering. The tower is heavy, delicate, and steeped in history. It's been standing for centuries, and any wrong move could cause irreparable damage. You can't just go around shoving a national treasure. The first thing engineers did was try to stabilize the tower. In the 1990s, they brought in a bunch of lead counterweights. These weights were placed on the north side of the tower's base. The idea was to counteract the lean. By adding these weights, they hoped to balance the tower and prevent further tilting. And you know what? It worked. The lead weights helped to reduce the tilt slightly, but it was a temporary fix. The engineers knew they needed a more permanent solution to ensure the tower's safety for future generations. The lead weights were a crucial first step, but the journey to fully stabilize the Leaning Tower of Pisa was far from over. This temporary measure bought them time to devise a more comprehensive plan to save this iconic landmark. Engineers knew they needed a more permanent solution. They came up with all sorts of ideas. Some suggested pumping concrete into the ground to strengthen the foundation. Others thought about freezing the soil beneath the tower. There was even talk of using giant cables to hold the tower up. One idea that seemed promising was electro-osmosis. It's a fancy way of saying they were going to use electricity to move water out of the soil. The hope was that this would make the ground beneath the tower more stable, but after a lot of testing, they realized it wasn't going to work. Finally, in the late 1990s, after years of brainstorming and countless failed attempts, engineers came up with a plan that seemed crazy enough to work. They called it under-excavation. Basically, they were going to very carefully remove small amounts of soil from beneath the north side of the tower, a process that required extreme precision and caution. This meticulous removal of soil would allow the foundation to settle back into a more level position, counteracting the lean that had plagued the tower for centuries. It was a risky plan, fraught with potential pitfalls, but it worked. Over the course of several months, engineers removed about 70 tons of soil, working tirelessly day and night. And slowly but surely the tower began to straighten up, inch by inch, degree by degree. The lean was reduced by about half a degree, bringing it back to its 1838 position, a remarkable achievement. Now the important thing to remember is that the goal was never to completely straighten the tower. The lean is part of what makes it so unique and iconic. The engineers just wanted to stabilize it and make sure it wouldn't fall over, preserving its historical and cultural significance. And that's exactly what they did, ensuring the tower's safety for future generations. Thanks to their hard work and ingenuity, the Leaning Tower of Pisa is still standing today, a testament to the power of engineering and a reminder that sometimes it's okay to be a little tilted.